Imagine a scorching day in the Sinai desert more than 3,000 years ago. Moses, the leader of the Israelites, had just stepped down from the mountain peak after 40 days of speaking with God. In his hands was a detailed set of instructions. An ark must be made of acacia wood, overlaid with pure gold, both inside and out, measuring about 1.2 meters high, 2.2 meters long, and over 1 meter wide. On the cover of the ark were two cherubim facing each other, with their wings spread upward, overshadowing the Atonement cover. Two wooden poles overlaid with gold were inserted through 4 gold rings at the corners of the ark, allowing the Levites to carry it without touching it directly. That was the Ark of the Covenant, the most vivid symbol of God's presence among his people. Inside, it contained the 2 stone tablets of the 10 Commandments, Aaron's rod that had budded, and a jar of manna, the food from heaven. When the Israelites marched, the ark went ahead of them by about 2,000 cubits, approximately 800 meters, clearing the way for them to cross the dried-up Jordan River and causing the walls of Jericho to collapse at the sound of trumpets and shouts. The ark had witnessed many ups and downs. It was captured by the Philistines as war booty, but calamities struck everywhere. The statue of the god Dagon collapsed and broke, and the people were afflicted with tumors. Ultimately, they had to return it on a cart pulled by 2 milk cows. King David brought the ark to Jerusalem with music, dancing before the Lord, to such an extent that his wife Michal despised him. Later, King Solomon placed the ark in the most holy place of the temple, where only the high priest was permitted to enter once a year. When the priests set the ark in its place, a cloud of glory filled the temple, so much so that no one could stand. As time passed, Israel declined. The kings worshipped idols, and the people drifted away from the Lord. During the reign of King Josiah, around 640 to 609 BC, the last reformist king, he ordered the ark to be put back into the temple. This is the last time the Bible explicitly mentions the location of the ark, 2 Chronicles 35:3. Only about 20 to 30 years later, tragedy struck. In 586 BC, King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon marched his army in. Jerusalem was besieged, starved, and eventually fell. The temple, the pride and glory of Israel, was burned to the ground. The Babylonians plundered all the gold, silver, and articles of worship. Yet, in the list of spoils recorded in the Bible, 2 Kings 25:13-17, there is absolutely no mention of the Ark of the Covenant. The most precious object of all silently vanished amidst the ashes and smoke. From that moment on, the mystery began. Some Jewish legends recount that King Josiah foresaw the impending disaster and ordered the ark, along with other sacred objects, to be hidden in a secret chamber beneath the temple, which Solomon had prepared long before. Others say that the priests buried it deep beneath the Temple Mount so that the enemy could never touch it. The second book of Maccabees, a historical book recognized by several Christian denominations, tells a moving story about the prophet Jeremiah. Before the city fell, God forewarned him through a vision. Jeremiah, along with a few priests, carried the ark, the tent of meeting, and the altar of incense up to Mount Nebo, the very mountain where Moses once stood to view the promised land from afar. They found a cave, placed the ark inside it, and then sealed its entrance. When some of them tried to mark the way to find it later, Jeremiah rebuked them, saying, "This place shall remain unknown until God gathers his people together again and shows his mercy." And the cave vanished from human sight. Ethiopian legends tell a more romantic story. According to the Kebra Nagast, the glory of the kings, Prince Menelik I, the son of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, secretly brought the ark to Ethiopia. To this day, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church claims the ark is being kept in the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion in Aksum under strict guard. Only a single guardian has access to it, and no one else is allowed to examine it. Many scholars, however, believe that the object they are guarding is merely a medieval replica. Some believe that the Babylonian army brought it back to Babylon, or that King Hezekiah melted it down as part of his religious reforms. Other theories suggest it was hidden beneath what is now the Temple Mount, or, according to some explorers, even lies in a cave near the site of Jesus' crucifixion. However, there is no definitive archaeological evidence to support any of these claims. The Ark of the Covenant has remained silent for over 2,500 years. Perhaps God allowed it to disappear to remind humanity that it is not physical objects or symbols, but His very presence that truly matters. In Revelation 11:19, the Apostle John saw heaven's temple open, and the Ark of His covenant appeared, like a promise that what is most holy ultimately belongs to God. The story of the Ark is not just ancient history. It is an invitation to each of us. Let our hearts become the dwelling place of God, rather than searching for a golden chest made of wood. Because ultimately, it is Jesus, the one called the Word made flesh, who is the perfect fulfillment of all covenants. Where do you think the Ark is? Or do you believe it has completed its mission and is now only a sacred memory? The story remains open, waiting for those who love the Word of God to continue to reflect upon it.